Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh, and you are watching Global Governance News TV. Today, we're going to discuss the what is the future of Bangladesh after the political crisis, as Sheikh Hasina fled from Bangladesh, resigned and fled to Bharat, and on Monday, last on 5th August, after 15 years in power. 76-year-old Hasina was the daughter of the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the Bandhu, the first prime minister of country, has become the increasing authoritarian recent year. Whatever she was just was planned for the Bangladesh, what done for the Bangladesh, that is uncomparable. But it was the clashes between the police and the anti-government protesters, and was left at least 300 people died, and ultimately proved her undoing what was her administration. How to hold on the administration. The political party Awami League, she is a leader of that, and the center of the Bangladesh independence in 1971 has played a prominent role in the country politics when since its founding. And the registration start from the reservation was given to the martyrs of the Mukti Sangram, who has played the important role to form the Bangladesh. Therefore, Foreign Prime's focus on the public health and economic development led to the most successful public health campaigns in South Asia and the dramatic reduction in the number of people in the country living in poverty. I'll discuss on the also point. And the last year rule, the arrest, disappearance, and extrajudicial killings of our political opponents have become more frequent. And the last three elections were the deemed to be many irregularities to be declared free and fair by international observer. It is also said, and but that is matter question. Why just last January 2024 election was held and she was elected prime minister. So, and the trouble start for Hasina began on broke out the country in over a Supreme Court ruling on the restricted 30% quota for descendant of Bangladesh independence fighters, that is called Mukti Sangram, and the government civil job, and the 5% for minority. But the status of minority is really amicable. We can't um, discuss on the just we can't agree with the Sheikh Hasina point, but whatever, she is more friendly for Bharat than the Pakistan and China. Now the Khalida Jia has been released, and we can understand how uh, uh, the crisis also with Indo-Bangladesh business. There are 150 crore, I think, business between two countries, and raise the distant potential free trade agreement talks, infrastructure project funded by Bharat at risk due to instability, and Bangladesh is key in ally. And first time Prime Minister 2009, our leadership has significantly improved trade and economic relations between two countries, and Bharat is a close watching situation very closely as our uh, External Affairs Minister has today declared in Parliament. Let us uh, hear the statement, then we'll discuss with political analyst Poonam Sharma ji with us. And first, we listen the statement of Dr. Jaishankar, then we'll start our discussion accordingly.
And instability there is shared across the political spectrum. India-Bangladesh relations have been exceptionally close for many decades over many governments. Concern about recent violence and instability there is shared across the political spectrum. Since the election in January 2024, there has been considerable tension, deep divides, and growing polarization in Bangladesh politics. This underlying foundation aggravated a student agitation that started in June this year. There was growing violence, including attacks on public buildings and infrastructure, as well as traffic and rail obstruction. The violence continued through the month of July. Throughout this period, we repeatedly counseled restraint and urged that the situation be diffused through dialogue. Similar urgings were made to various political forces with whom we were in touch. So, despite a Supreme Court judgment on 21 July, there was no let-up in the public agitation. Various decisions and actions taken thereafter only exacerbated the situation. The agitation at this stage coalesced around a one-point agenda, that is that the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, should step down. On 4th August, events took a very serious turn. Attacks on the police, including police stations and government installations, intensified even as overall levels of violence greatly escalated. Properties of individuals associated with the regime were torched across the country. What was particularly worrying was that minorities, their businesses and temples also came under attack at multiple locations. The full extent of this is still not clear. Sir, on 5th August, demonstrators converged in Dhaka despite the curfew. Our understanding is that after a meeting with leaders of the security establishment, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina apparently made the decision to resign. At very short notice, she requested approval to come for the moment to India. We simultaneously received a request for flight clearance from Bangladesh authorities. She arrived yesterday evening in Delhi. The situation in Bangladesh, sir, is still evolving. The Army Chief, General Waqar-uz-Zaman, addressed the nation on 5th August. He spoke about assuming responsibility and constituting an interim government. We are in close and continuous touch with the Indian community in Bangladesh through our diplomatic missions. There are an estimated 19,000 Indian nationals there, of which about 9,000 are students. The bulk of the students, however, have already returned to India in the month of July on the advice of the High Commission. In terms of our diplomatic presence, in addition to the High Commission in Dhaka, we have Assistant High Commissions in Chittagong, Rajshahi, Khulna, and Sylhet. It is our expectation that the host government will provide the required security protection for these establishments. We look forward to their normal functioning once the situation stabilizes. Chairman, sir, we are also monitoring the situation with regard to the status of minorities. There are reports of initiatives by various groups and organizations to ensure their protection and well-being. We welcome that, but will naturally remain deeply concerned till law and order is visibly restored. Our border guarding forces have also been instructed to be exceptionally alert in view of this complex situation. In the last 24 hours, we have also been in regular touch with the authorities in Dhaka. This is the situation as of now. I seek the understanding and support of the House in regard to sensitive issues regarding an important neighbor on which there has always been strong national consensus. Thank you.
Debate resumes. Shri
So just we listen the statement of Dr. Jaishankar, how he says closely monitoring the situation and on the watching the every moment and moments in Bangladesh. And he also talked about the my status of minority that is called Hindu. He did not use word Hindu, but I can say it because I'm not like the politician like Jaishankar. That's why he used the word. And an old seasoned bureaucrat, he should use Hindu as he's a now elected member of parliament from Raj Sabha and from BJP. So, but whatever he diplomatically used word the minority is many, but the many temples had been destroyed, and the ISKCON temple all the burnt, and many Hindu families are in distress. How do you think, Poonamji, the status of Hindu in Nepal? Sorry, Bangladesh.
Good evening and namaskar. And the very unfortunate upheaval in Bangladesh had really made us think that it is really a very much insecure condition. It's very insecurity for the people, for the minority Hindus. In fact, there are Sikh also. There are some other very in a very small percentage. Of course, this is a great concern. But along with it, the way our country is dealing with the situation, that is very much important, as because it is a very sensitive situation. It's a very vulnerable situation, I should say. And the further implications, now it seems there is an interim government which is in function now. But in later years, in later part, whatever comes there, it seems Khalida Zia also, she has been freed, and his son, it seems, he's sitting in UK, and he was involved in. There have been many forces that have been responsible for an upheaval like this. But this is very undemocratic actually. This is also not new, but the situation whichever has happened today, that is history actually. That really, it has never happened in the history of Bangladesh. And there had been coup in 2009 and 10 also, where our president, earlier at those days, Pranab Mukherjee, had supported every had extended every
Yeah.
support to Sheikh Hasina, and that was not materialized, that was being drawn. But this time, whatever had happened, our government had no idea about it, but it was just because of our Bharatiya government that she had come out, because it was an advisory to them, to the people there, that she should not be harmed. So she had come harmlessly. That is, we have come to know. So whatever be the situation now the it's a dilemma for actually Bharat, that if it is involved in how it is getting involved, it is a very very sensitive, and it's a very serious situation actually. Bharat has to acquire, it has to deal it with in a very diplomatic way, because it is an internationally fabricated, manufactured crisis actually. So we need
Okay.
to be
So just
very
let us see
careful
how the
about it.
Bharat will treat the Bangladesh, and whatever government will be there, according diplomatically, we have to maintain the relation as we have just already tried to maintain the other countries also. And the type of break, and after break, we'll see how the Bharat is monitoring the situation at the border area, all the northern states. Bangladesh is already covered by all our, including Assam to 7 states of the northeastern states. So there is also measure of safety, and border security force has been all tightened. Time of break. After break, we'll see the situation and talk about the how the economic and trade issues also in Bangladesh. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are discussing about Bangladesh crisis, what the future of the Bangladesh after this political crisis. And Poonam Sharma is with us for the as a political analyst. And just you see how our border is already high alert mode uh, on the border area, and action also, because there is no fear to Bangladesh, but so many other international agencies are active to destabilize the peace in Bharat with Bangladesh, and lastly tried from the Maldives, and then before that Sri Lanka 2 years back we have seen. But there's also theory where there is Hindu in the majority. I know this type of incident will be happen because we are so um, believe in the non-violence, and our nature is like that. But Poonamji, there is a question: how the economy uh, situation was um, uh, very good, and GDP in the regime of Sheikh Hasina, in spite of whatever she was handling the situation. And for 18 years, due to all the cases, her opponent, the BNP leader, Khalida Jia, was in jail for 18 years. Now, only on 2018, now she will come out, and she was so um, uh, uh, inclined to Pakistan and China, but Sheikh Hasina was inclined to Bharat. How do you analyze the two situations as the president of Bangladesh has ordered to release her and going interim government is going to form?
You see, Sheikh Hasina's father, Mujibur Rahman, was a good friend of Bharat
Little loud,
actually.
please.
Bangladesh is an ally country, and it has been, since the establishment of Bangladesh was possible only with the help of Bharat actually. Indira Gandhi, she had. So Mujibur Rahman was, a friend of the country. So in this way, Sheikh Hasina, she has a great historical relation with us. But in later years, things had changed, and again, there were many coups. Actually, Bangladesh has got a history. Today, I will not get into it, but the history of coups and regime change has been a part of its history. But so long, all these years, Sheikh Hasina has had given a very stability to the, and not only stability, the economic condition of the country was, in fact, with Bharat, it had the 1400 crores, the export, it seems, were there. And not only that, the projects, the electricity supply,
So
and
many industry will be just affected, and
many
many, many,
many areas. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Bharat and Bangladesh had been cooperating, but in fact, if we see the international interference, which had begun with the
I just said World Bank in
jihadi
April,
forces.
World Bank, Poonamji, the World Bank in April Bangladesh Development Update report had forecast the country's GDP will grow by 5.7% between July 24 to and June 2025 against 5.6% the same period last fiscal. And Bangladesh's strong macroeconomic fundamentals have helped the country overcome many fast challenges. So many economic experts have already predicted for Bangladesh and well, Bhutan also at the time faster and bolder fiscal financial sector monetary reforms can help Bangladesh to maintain the macroeconomic stability and the re-accelerated growth. But how the what will the report of the World Bank also called for monetary reform and single exchange rate regime, which will be critical for improving foreign exchange reserve and easing inflation. Greater exchange rate flexibility will help the restore balance between demand and supply in foreign exchange market. But what will happen? All the uh, economy has clocked over 5.5% growth.
Khalida Jia, I think now the next whoever takes over, I mean, it will be now we have to wait and see the puppet. It will be a puppet government, and who will who will be behind this government. So that is a question. That is the time. So the relation of Indo Bangladesh relations, uh, the time will tell. But whatever the projects are there, are they going to be replaced by some other country? I have doubt, because Bangladesh, the nearest Bharat is the nearest neighbor of Bangladesh, and there have been so many Bangladeshis, either be it textiles, any industry. So
Yeah.
there has an inclination, because they are getting benefits. They have an inclination.
So
It
Bharat
was
will have to think. Bharat will have to think about the just economic and trade, how with the new regime, how they'll maintain the
Yes,
old
yes. I
last
I
50
have
years.
I am positive about it, because when Afghanistan was taken over by Taliban, and in those days also, it was expected that maybe there may be some strain on those, but now you see it is Bharat who is in Afghanistan. It is the most, the economic relations, and it is so it is going on. It has been help. It is helping actually. So
Just to see what will the
I
base
think
and
with
how will they
Bangladesh
manage
also.
the political situation, lead the political situation uh, to be
But
static and normal.
one
Yeah,
thing is true. One thing is true that the fundamentalist forces which are now which have taken over, and Pakistan has a major role to play. So in that way,
the
some
Pakistan is
unfavorable,
himself is going to be just the beggars and not
right,
become
some
bigger. The why don't we just
unfavorable,
do it?
conditions may occur, but Indo-Bangladesh relations, I think, in future they hold good. I think future
Okay,
holds
so
good
nice
for
of
it.
you. Just we are hopeful, and we should be hopeful for the best neighbor because strategically, we should just take care of Bangladesh, just like the old child of the Bharat, and just like a Pakistan and other countries. So we have to take care uh, spiritually and emotionally also to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is the really ours in the before 71 that's part of Pakistan, before 47 Pakistan was part of Bharat.
It
Thank you
was
very
our
much.
only. Pakistan and Bangladesh, both countries were our only, and they should come back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
India.
yeah, yeah. The time will come. How just we can claim how to go. There is a many situation, many stories, many conditions, compulsions are there. Let us see hope for the best. Thank you very much, and for this program. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.